Are you lying to yourself? Your sense of self-worth may be severely affected, your vision of reality can be distorted, and your intimate relationships might suffer if you allow yourself to get caught up in the lies and damaging beliefs that you tell yourself. Lying to others is bad enough, but lying to yourself is one of the most destructive things a man can do to himself. Stop doing it, and stop doing it right now. This is how. Welcome to Relentless Man. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Share our channel and look out for our up-and-coming videos. Cognitive therapy is a kind of psychotherapy based on the premise that our ideas and beliefs affect our mental health. Cognitive therapy seeks to alter harmful thought patterns and beliefs that lead to an individual's unhappiness. Theoretically, both mood and anxiety disorders, such as anxiety disorder and depression, are significantly impacted by an individual's negative thoughts and false beliefs. Your belief system consists of your own values, perceptions, and attitudes. Negative beliefs about oneself and the world are self-defeating ideas. Let us get straight into the 10 best ways of banishing these destructive perceptions. Stick around for our surprising number 1. You can thank us later. Number 10. Stop seeing constructive criticism as a direct assault on you personally. There is a massive disparity between being an open and supportive friend and being someone who is too critical and a bully. If you believe someone to be a friend and that person offers you some sincere advice, even if it is somewhat critical, you should not be so quick to brush it off as unimportant. When we are presented with concepts that go against our worldviews, we tend to become the most protective and emotional regarding the problems that challenge us. Listen and take everything in before you respond. Number 9. You do not need to convince anyone of anything. There are certain people who may have their opinions changed on certain topics from time to time. But if you honestly believe something that somebody fervently rejects, you will never be able to sway that person's opinion, no matter how convincing you are. Perhaps if you speak about it for a long enough period of time and provide sufficient information to support your remarks, he or she will say that they agree with you. On the other hand, they are more likely saying to themselves that this is not true and feel resentment towards you for stopping them from forming their own conclusion. You do not want to have the frame of mind where you are always trying to justify yourself by being correct. Number 8. Are your fears warranted? Everyone experiences fear on occasion, and this is not always a negative thing. Fear has been a crucial factor in the evolution of our species, and it prevents us from engaging in risky behaviors or putting ourselves in circumstances that might endanger or even take our lives. However, purposefully inducing anxiety to sidestep potentially upsetting circumstances might have the opposite effect of what was intended. The next time you find yourself being anxious about anything, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself whether or not the situation warrants your concern. Number 7. Stop procrastination. What exactly is going to be different about tomorrow? Tomorrow will be exactly the same day as today if you do not develop a strategy for yourself that includes specific actions, and you truly narrow down precisely what is going to change and how it will change. Do not give in to temptation of reverting to previous behaviors in lieu of working toward the transformation you want to manifest today. Do what you have to do today. Time waits for no one. Number 6. Stop self-doubt. You choose how you feel about becoming older. Do you honestly believe that you're too old or too shy or not athletic enough to meet new acquaintances or start a new hobby? You probably aren't, and if you tried, you would be much happier. Do not start telling yourself that you are too old or making up any other excuse to try new things. If you live for another decade or more, that will be over a decade that you have been telling yourself that you cannot do something. So, refrain from telling yourself that you are too old, too busy, or any other excuse you come up with to accomplish new things. You are a relentless man. Be relentless. Doubt and fear are the killers of dreams. Number 5. You do not need approval from everybody. Most people won't be liked by others. This urge may become self-defeating, though one's self-esteem is dependent on the acceptance of others. A continual desire for others' approval might cause one to feel wounded, apprehensive, or angry. The reality is that regardless of who you are, not everyone will like you. Remember that you are a valuable individual, regardless of whether others agree with or approve of you. Those who determine their value based on how well they are liked by others may get quickly offended by any other type of criticism or difference of opinion. Simple comments from others might provoke hostility and defensiveness. Ironically, seeking continual acceptance from others may alienate others. Keep in mind, if you battle with the desire for approval, that people may approve of you as a person and are merely providing advice or other suggestions to be helpful or to spark dialogue. Try to be receptive to the advice of others and continue to expand your support network. Number 4, the fun is in the doing. The fact of the matter is that very few individuals are in a position to legitimately claim that they are the greatest at anything. Perhaps Olympic athletes, classically trained musicians, and chefs at a 5-star Michelin restaurant are some of the exceptions to this rule. On the other hand, regardless of the endeavor you set out to do, most of the time there will always be someone who is superior to you in that endeavor. However, this is not to imply that it is not worthwhile to attempt. Even if you are not the finest golfer in the world or lift the heaviest weights in the gym, it does not imply that you cannot find happiness in participating in that activity. And if things are only worth doing if you are the greatest at them, why would you ever try your hand at anything different? Number 3, the endless cycle of needing to achieve. There are many individuals who, in the future, want to accomplish certain objectives. These objectives often center on topics related to one's health, relationships, or professional life. When you achieve your objectives, you should feel a sense of satisfaction and contentment in your accomplishments. On the other hand, a considerable number of people who struggle with anxiety and depression have the mistaken belief that their achievements are the source of their sense of self-worth. You can have the misconception that the only way to increase your personal worth is to increase your wealth, prestige, intellect, or accomplishments. People who subscribe to the self-defeating thinking system are almost never able to feel fulfilled in life or content with who they are as individuals. Number 2, learn to say no. One of the most crucial skills and tools for achieving happiness is learning when and how to say no. Some of us feel compelled to bite off more than we can chew, whether it is at our jobs or even while we are volunteering at our children's schools. Before agreeing to take on work, you should carefully consider whether you have the time and energy to do it. And if you discover that you do not, you should not be afraid to decline the offer. If you say no occasionally, there is a good chance that you will not offend anyone's sentiments in the slightest. Our number 1 might come as a surprise to you, but the concept of it is eternally unattainable, yet so many of us strive for it. Number 1, you are never going to be perfect. Perfectionism is a trait that is sometimes mistaken for a favorable quality. Nevertheless, it may rarely set you up for procrastination and failure. The notion that one can never entirely reach one's full potential is referred to as perfectionism. For instance, you could think that since you are flawed in some way, each mistake you make, no matter how little, makes you a less worthy person. It is possible that you put off carrying out tasks out of worry that you will never be able to do it in the level of excellence that you envision for yourself. People who believe in perfectionism, which is a self-defeating concept, often have the mistaken assumption that other people will not accept them for who they are. Perfectionism may have a significant impact on an individual's whole belief system and often manifests itself in the individual's internal monologue and ways of thinking. For example, should statements are an example of a pattern of negative thinking that is often related with perfectionism. Consider the thought that you should be able to do it. This is just one example. To add insult to injury, perfectionism often manifests itself in the form of negative self-labeling, such as the conviction that one must be insane for experiencing panic attacks. This kind of self-criticism does nothing except bring down your sense of self-worth and might sabotage your efforts to deal with any situation in your life. Recognizing the part that our self-defeating belief system plays in our life is the first step towards changing it. As soon as you have started to recognize your common false beliefs, you will start to become aware of the circumstances that tend to set off these beliefs. You now have the chance to adjust your belief system as a result of this understanding. Start putting your common self-defeating ideas to the test by investigating how much truth there really is in the opinions you hold. For example, do people turn their backs on you because of the flaws that you have? Do the majority of your loved ones continue to care about you even if you do not achieve your particular goals, such as getting a promotion at work, reaching your ideal weight, or making a certain amount of money? Is the person who is giving you advice doing so because they disapprove of you or because they really care about how well you do in life? You may start to establish new ideas by repeatedly facing the inaccurate ones you have had in the past. Start being honest with yourself. By being honest with yourself, you are only accountable to one person, the most important person, the person who decides who and what you are. That person is you, the strong, confident, and most importantly, honest, relentless man. Thank you for watching Relentless Man. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Share our channel and look out for our up-and-coming videos. Until next time.